Good afternoon. Welcome to Options Tender. It's Wednesday, October 30th, 2024 is the last day of the month. Clearly, price is stalling for information or the monthly candle to end, etc., etc. We don't know the exact catalyst that will get the market moving, but we're really setting up over and over. And I'm going to show you on the lower time frames exactly what I think is happening down to the hourly candle. Okay, so we'll run through the higher time frames quickly because we've been going through those over and over and nothing's changed here. So if you're new here, go down to that bottom right hand corner, hit that Options Center logo, subscribe. Thank you for all of the likes. Preach. And if we're doing this intraday about noon Eastern Standard Time, if you want to get these videos intraday, consider joining YouTube membership. It's 99 cents. All right, here we go. We have SPY on the monthly time frame. We have our trend line from 2021, and we're forming a top here. We have a throw over. We need to see what happens if there's a confirmation that breaks down, fake break. We do have negative divergence on all time frames. We're just waiting for a catalyst. On the weekly, had this correction here, that and then we had an ending diagonal here. So these are all made of 3 waves. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Can be complete. Coming up to the channel top, rejecting but holding up on the above the 8 EMA still. We have, this is our pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Believe it's completed. Here are some of the targets. Oh, let's go down to the daily since we're on this one. Daily time frame, very similar to this area here. We were kind of tracking that the whole time. After you had that 3-wave move to the top there, we had our 3-wave move as well. Getting to the minimal target 127.2, that's a major target, and actually made it up to a minor 138. It's not out of the question that we could go to 599, the final target, but I am not leaning that way. I am clearly, the members saw my almost every single day I'm adding puts onto our and you know, closer expirations as well onto our portfolio here. So we're coming into a cluster 1029, 1030. So is that going to signify a top here and we start moving? We shall see. We have all the tech earnings that are happening. We had some today, and I released the members video. It was, you know, fascinating that it worked out exactly how I had mentioned, and there's no way of knowing that. I got lucky. So AMD took a hit, and Google became bullish from the bullish setup that it had. So after we do get our reversal, I do believe the top is in. We're looking for a reversal at this point, and then a pretty sharp move down, because I think we have our 1, 2, and we're looking for a sharp wave 3. And then all of that should complete in a 5-wave impulse. I don't know how far that will go. We'll see. It really depends on, you know, employment data on Friday. That could be a really bearish day. We have all the tech earnings. So likely what I think is to happen with the tech earnings, they're coming in pairs. So, you know, tonight, whoever's, again, I don't really care who's on tonight, but whoever's has their earnings tonight, one will probably be up, the other will probably be down and kind of negate each other. If they're both down, maybe that's the catalyst that start pulling the market to the downside. But usually it's very typical for one to be bullish, one to be bearish, and kind of equal out what happens in the market. Okay, on the 65-minute, then we'll go around the horn. 65-minute, we're just holding this trend line. really triangulating. It's getting long in a tooth there, but it can go as long as it wants sideways until it needs the information that it is looking for. Okay, so here's what happened today. Here's what we're looking for our count. We have our 1 already in, wave 2, and then we formed another 1 too. Well, I mean, that starts to look like a bullish setup, right? Well, if you get in, and by the way, our wave 3, we're looking for a target down here to 565 if that plays out the way it's supposed to. All right, for wave 3, and then we'll be looking for some lows. Maybe the low comes into 11.6 there. We'll see what happens on the 31st tomorrow. Maybe that's the high. I don't know. Maybe price goes a little bit higher. We'll see. So if it happens all in one day, maybe tomorrow is a low, a near-term low, and then we get our wave 4 bounce and then go lower. We'll see where price is when this happens. But if I dig in just a little bit closer here, I usually don't go too much further unless I'm looking at my day screen on the 5-minute. But what I'm looking at here is a 5-wave leading diagonal, and I'm looking at a 3-wave move for a correction, and then an impulse down for a lower degree one. And now, since price wants to waste time, you see this is a zigzag, quick, sharp move. That's typical for a 1-2, but the market needed to mark time. Okay, so impulse wave down, and now an A, B, C. We thought it was over there, but guess what? It just made it a larger degree wave A. And then we got our B sharp move gap down today, and then lift off for a impulse C. Okay, so all in all, it's important because this is how it will try to get you. And of course, there's always a bullish way to count things. It's all speculative. So, but this is what I see, and so it's complex. We had our A right up here. And then when we started breaking the highs of that, I said to myself, oh, geez, you know, this is definitely going higher. And then I just kept looking, saying, no, it's just wasting time. It's not going to pick a side here today that I know of. And it's waiting for information. And we already had our catalyst for today. So this is how I'm looking at it. On the low time frame, A, B, C for a larger degree A. RB was a sharp move this morning, and then the impulse wave is what we got into the 786. This 786 is from this next impulse wave. So retracement back there, and so now we have a 1-2, 1-2 setup going into tomorrow. So if it wants to waste more time, sure, there's more room to do other things, more complex correction. But to me, I have to be ready for this to be it. And tonight being earnings and whatnot, then we'll look for a move down from this point. And you can also argue that there's a trend line there. But if you're a bull, you're gonna say this is an inverse head and shoulder. Okay, so if this starts to break out, break these highs, then likely we're going to the next stage, probably above 586. Okay, going around, let's go to ZN. Let's go to the 10-year Treasury note and show, again, kind of keep track of this. We're looking at 10-year Treasury note here, and we had a low. So we talked about this being a low, and then it had a nice move yesterday. And so that means, you know, the opposite's happening with the rates. All right, lower rates is going to hit tech. We had a pullback today because we have to form market structure, right? So now we finally got a high, hopefully a higher low, and then a move from here. And so going into information today or tomorrow, if this starts to break new highs, I'll actually set another alert here. I like to keep track of when it's moving. Start making new highs here. Rates are going to go down, and it's going to start affecting the tech market. Mark my words. It happens slowly, though. You have to have turns. You have to have things happen. All right, and it's going to be slightly bullish, which you can see that today on IWM and the small caps, because they're saying, oh, we get lower rates, we borrow money. And so at first they're like, yay. And then after the rates, TNX, you can look it up if you want, the rates go down. If they start increasing faster, then we have a recession signal happening, and nobody likes that, and all the stocks go down in sequence. So we had our high here, clearly a lower high from this point, but a new high at this point with divergence. We talked about that in the tech video. So we're forming all of this bearish divergence, just waiting for the catalyst to go down. New bearish divergence here, and we had our sell signal happen today. Okay, so everything's pointing bearish. It's just a matter of minutes, literally, that this could fall today. You know, I'm not sure that it will because of catalyst, but the setup's definitely there. But what happened today was forming market structure to the downside. Okay, so of course this really looks like, because there are 65-minute candles, it looks like we're making a higher low and we're ready to just take off. To me, since we already have all of our divergences, we have our wave count finished, I believe that this high is in, and we had our first small impulse wave. Okay, and then after that, now we can form our really micro 1-2s. And is there going to be another one by the end of the day? Possibly. This could end up being a 1-2, get down lower for a 1-2, and continue lower. So we don't know what's going to happen with the different earnings, because our weekly candle, we have an inside weekly candle right now, and that could just be an inside for the entire week, and then we continue next week to the downside. All right, and I'm not even really examining the bullish side at this point. It's just not there. Okay, and so here's our setup going into today. Our measured move, our move from this first wave down, we came back and tested that 786 right here. So that's a 1-2 setup just in itself. So do we form a little bit more market structure before dumping? Sure. But right now, I believe we have our wave 1 and 2 in. All right, so this, I have to move over here. That's our high. And there could be, again, this could form some more market structure, but if we want to get our measured move, our extension off of this move, then our low, our wave 3 should be somewhere around 492. Now, I don't think that's very practical, seeing what's happening with SPY. I think this will probably double that move and head down to the 488. I think that's more likely on this type, but to be conservative, 492 is in our picture. But again, this could form a different 1-2, 1-2, and then you got to look for this to stretch out after that. I assure you, tech is going to lead the way. IWM, just a little bit more bullish, but what's happening? It is starting to pull back. We got up to the options expected move. This in itself is in a setup. We have a flag type action here. All right, bear flag. So that's the traditional look. Starting to move a little bit, and here's the setup, the 1-2 setup. So we had our this is a lower high, this is a wave 2. I got that in Roman numerals, and then another impulse 1, and pulled back to the 62% retracement. We didn't quite get that yesterday, or it might have been the day before. Could be 2 days there. We didn't quite get it. Unfinished business. Made it to the 62 today with one large candle, and now starting to reverse off of it. Again, I don't suspect too spectacular of a day today. Could break down, but not sure. May have to wait for the catalyst tonight and maybe the unemployment data tomorrow morning before the bell. But I know a big one is going to be employment situation. All eyes are on employment situation on Friday. So if you know, if the market takes time for that to happen, so be it. We'll be ready. Okay, and the big bear flag, we talked about that. I released that video already, the members video. And this one made it up a little bit, had a fake break after AMD earnings and broke back down here. So this one kind of counting as an A, B, and a C. Again, where that's it got complex there, very similar to what's happening to SPY. So the market likes to do that, keep you guessing, but it didn't. We didn't get out of any of our positions. We weren't sweating. Kind of knew what was happening there. So after we had our impulse 1, so first of all, our large impulse 1, wave 2 for the bear flag, and now lower degree 1, and now this one we had an ABC into an A, and then a short little B here, and now our C to end off wave 2 there. Okay, so again, got more complex. It could have been done here. And then that retracement was to the boom to the 786. So yesterday got up to the 786, gap down. I think this will continue lower. It might form a small bear flag, not very deep here, and then continue lower because we're getting into such lower degree moves here. This move should be pretty deep. It just from this one to here, which I might have to adjust that a little bit. We have boom. Just from that one to, we have the 231 here as our target. But with this one setting up, I mean, the wave 3 just from this degree might hit here, and this continues lower. I mean, this SMH can really start to trend. So keep an eye on that. And clearly Nvidia is part of our move here, bearish move. And lastly, let's check out the VIX. The VIX is, I mean, clearly it's setting up. All right, we had our breakout back testing and just going sideways between 19 and 20. Just a box holding up, waiting for the opportunity for the market to start heading down with all this information, the info bombs from employment, from today's GDP, from all the tech. This is going to explode. It's a spring waiting to happen. It's going to explode to the upside. All right. If it starts to break down, could back test a little bit more. We have kind of a triangle forming here. That's possible. Not likely, but possible. All right. So if the market wants to go higher and reach new highs, then we'll probably see this breakdown from 19. All right, that's what I got for you guys. If you see this starting to move today and starting to break some highs, clearly the move has started. Not sure it's going to happen today. All right, thanks for all the likes, you guys. Good luck trading, and we'll see you tomorrow.